divided by cosine. And cotangent, you would have cosine divided by sine. You could do that, but you don't have to. That's an example. Here's another one. This one's a little bit different. Here, I'm telling you that cosecant of theta, right, is 13 over 12. We're going to find all the other trig functions, though. Again, we don't know what theta is. We know theta is between 0 and 90 degrees, though. Well, we want to form a right triangle, right? You know, like before, with angle theta, such that this is true. Now, you could go directly to the definitions of what cosecant is, but if you don't remember that for some reason, you could do this. That's what I'm doing here. Basically, we know cosecant of theta is 1 over sine. So you could actually cross multiply from here and get sine of theta is 1 over cosecant of theta. So all I'm doing here is I'm cross multiplying. Here, maybe this will help. Right, we have, let me see if I could draw it, cosecant. Bear with me. Theta. Right, you have something that's equal to something over 1, same idea. And then we have 1 over sine of theta. In other words, what you can basically do, you can cross multiply, and you're going to basically interchange the position of these two. That's all you're doing. I mean, technically you're doing that here as well, but they're both 1, so you're really, I guess, just leaving them alone. You know, there are a few more algebra steps involved, but in the end, this is what you're doing. I think what you end up getting if you cross multiply, you get cosecant times sine of theta is 1, and then you could divide as well. But basically, by cross multiplying, you get this. We know cosecant is 13 over 12, right? We really have 1 over 13 over 12. And of course, based on what is this saying? This is saying that 1 over it means you flip. So this becomes 12 over 13. So 1 over, you turn it upside down. You get 12 over 13. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Okay. Oh, wait, I think I went a little too fast. There we go. Okay. So now that we know what sine of theta is, okay, what we can do, right, is we draw a right triangle so that sine of theta is 12 over 13. We know sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse, right? So we want the opposite side to be 12. We want the hypotenuse to be 13. That's what we have here. So I put theta down here. The opposite side, we made it 12. The hypotenuse, I made 13. But we need the remaining side, the unknown side here, right? Well, as I said before, we have a right triangle, right? And we have 2 of the side lanes. We can easily get the third one using Pythagoreans Theorem. And that's what I'm doing here. So we have x squared plus 12 squared is 13 squared. And I'm going through the calculation, of course. Right, 12 squared is 144. 13 squared is 169. Right, so now we just solve this thing for x. So we subtract 144 from each side. We have x squared is the difference, which is 25. Well, if x squared is 25, we take the square roots. We get x is the square root of 25, which is nice. That's 25 is a perfect square, and we get 5. So we have the third side here. Just like before, once we get all 3 sides, we can get all the trig functions. right? We know sine of theta, but we know that's equal to 12 over 13, opposite over hypotenuse. Cosecant we were given. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So that's 5 over 13. Okay, so we know that's good. Well, let's see. Well, okay. Tangent of theta is opposite over adjacent. Sorry, I forgot something. Cosine is 5 over 13. Cosecant is 1 over cosine, right? So what do? You turn the fraction upside down. You invert it. Tangent of theta, that's opposite over adjacent, right? We have 12 as the opposite. The adjacent is 5. Cotangent of theta, that's 1 over tangent. That's 1 over 12 over 5. Again, 1 over means you flip it, so you get this. 5 over 12. So this is what we get. So we have all the trig functions. Are there any questions about this? Remember, I can't see the chat, so if you have a question, use the, what do you call it, the hand raise feature. Okay. This one I want everyone to try. It's very similar actually to the ones we just did. If sine of theta is 1 over 5, okay? Then from there, you want to get all the other trig functions. So let me just let me do that. Let me just pause. I'm going to stop the recording, and I'll wait about 3 or 4 minutes for you guys to try, and we'll do it together.